Some good news is finally coming for Social Security recipients, and it might bring a much needed boost to households across the country. A new bill under consideration in Congress could increase Social Security payments by an additional $200 per month, potentially giving seniors an extra $1,200 between January and July of 2026. While this is not a permanent solution for seniors living on fixed incomes, every extra dollar can make a meaningful difference, helping cover groceries, prescriptions, utilities, or other essential costs that continue to rise year after year. Many seniors have expressed frustration over the fact that Social Security benefits, while a lifeline, often fail to keep pace with inflation and the steadily increasing cost of living. This proposed increase, though temporary, reflects a recognition by lawmakers that something more must be done to help older Americans weather these financial pressures. Here on Truth Lens, our mission is to keep seniors and families fully informed about Social Security updates, potential benefit changes, and other critical financial news. Millions of older Americans rely on the information we share, and our focus is on breaking down complex policy developments in a clear and approachable way. Seniors who have worked for decades, paid into Social Security, and sacrificed to secure a retirement safety net deserve transparency and guidance about what they are owed. They also need to understand the real impact of legislative proposals like this $200 monthly increase and how such measures might fit into the broader picture of retirement finances, inflation, and ongoing economic uncertainty. The Social Security Emergency Inflation Relief Act, along with the Boosting Benefits and COLA for Seniors Act, are at the center of these discussions. Senators, including Kirsten Gillibrand, Elizabeth Warren, Ron Wyden, and Chuck Schumer, are leading the effort, highlighting that current payouts simply are not enough to maintain a reasonable standard of living for older Americans. According to their statements, the goal is to provide relief to seniors, veterans, and Americans with disabilities who depend on fixed incomes, ensuring that these groups can cover essential costs despite inflationary pressures. The proposed $200 increase per month is a targeted response to a reality many seniors face. The official cost of living adjustment of 2.8% is simply not enough to cover rising rent, food, medical expenses, and utility bills. This $200 boost, however, is limited. It would only apply from January 2026 through July 2026, assuming the bill passes and the government is fully operational by then. While it's better than no increase at all, the temporary nature of this proposal has sparked questions and concerns. Many seniors wonder why the increase isn't extended for the entire year or even indefinitely until inflation stabilizes. For households relying on Social Security as their primary source of income, 6 payments may provide short-term relief, but the underlying struggles remain. Inflation erodes purchasing power continuously, and even an additional $1,200 spread over 6 months, while helpful, will not resolve the long-term challenges seniors face. For those who must budget every penny and plan their meals, medications, and utilities carefully, this increase could still feel like a lifeline in a stormy financial climate. In addition to the Social Security bill, there's been considerable discussion about President Trump's proposed $2,000 dividend payments derived from tariff revenue. This concept is sometimes referred to as a tariff rebate, stimulus-style check, or dividend, and it has generated both excitement and skepticism among seniors and middle-income Americans. While the specifics are still unclear, the idea is to distribute revenue collected from tariffs on foreign imports directly to the public, with low and middle-income Americans as the primary beneficiaries. If implemented, these payments could arrive as a lump sum, providing significant short-term financial relief for households struggling with the rising costs of everyday living. For seniors, especially those on Social Security, a $2,000 dividend could cover a month or more of medical expenses, groceries, or other critical necessities, offering a rare opportunity to regain some financial breathing room. Despite the promise of these payments, fact checkers have highlighted that there are multiple logistical and legal hurdles to overcome. Currently, all tariff revenue goes into the U.S. Treasury's general fund, and converting that revenue into direct payments requires congressional approval. Additionally, the Supreme Court could play a decisive role in determining the legality of certain tariffs, which in turn could influence the availability of funds for these dividends. Economic analysts have raised concerns about the total cost and feasibility of sending $2,000 to every eligible American. Estimates suggest that fully funding such payments would require hundreds of billions of dollars, potentially more than what tariff revenue alone could generate in a single year. Even if implemented gradually, the plan would require careful coordination between Congress, the Treasury, and the White House. Tariff revenue in 2025 is estimated to be around $195 billion, according to the Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget, while approximately 173 million Americans earned less than $100,000 in 2023. This means that fully funding a $2,000 dividend for all eligible recipients would require substantial additional funds beyond the current tariff income, highlighting the complexities involved. Experts have noted that this is not an impossible task, but it would likely take several years for the necessary funds to accumulate if the revenue stream remains limited. Historical parallels exist at the state level, such as Alaska's Permanent Dividend Fund, where residents receive direct payments from state oil revenues. However, at the federal level, no exact precedent exists, making this plan both ambitious and unprecedented. For seniors relying on Social Security, the combination of potential legislative increases and a one-time tariff dividend represents a significant moment. Many have experienced a steady erosion of their purchasing power over recent years due to inflation, rising healthcare costs, and increased living expenses. A temporary $200 per month increase coupled with a potential $2,000 dividend could partially offset these challenges, offering a tangible, though temporary, relief. While such measures will not solve systemic financial issues for seniors, they could provide crucial short-term support for those who have been struggling to make ends meet. Even small increases in monthly income can make a real difference for older adults living alone, caring for spouses, or managing multiple health conditions that require consistent and costly attention. It is also worth noting the political and procedural realities surrounding these proposals. While the Social Security Emergency Inflation Relief Act is already in Congress, the government's current operational status directly impacts the ability to implement it. If the government is not fully open and functioning, the timeline for approval and disbursement of benefits could be delayed, leaving seniors in a continued state of financial uncertainty. Similarly, the $2,000 tariff dividend proposal requires congressional legislation and possibly judicial review before any payments can be distributed. For seniors who live month to month, every delay adds stress and compounds financial hardship. Understanding these dynamics is crucial for grasping why policy announcements often feel distant from the immediate realities of retirement life. In summary, the news for Social Security recipients is cautiously optimistic. The potential $200 monthly increase represents a recognition of the financial pressures facing seniors, while the proposed $2,000 tariff dividend highlights innovative, though complex, approaches to providing additional support. Both measures reflect the urgent need to address rising living costs and the strain on fixed income households. For millions of older Americans, these developments are more than numbers. They represent the possibility of reduced anxiety over grocery bills, prescription medications, and other essential expenses. Seniors across the nation are watching closely, hoping for concrete action, and navigating a landscape where timing, approval, and implementation will determine the real impact on their daily lives. While these proposals are not permanent solutions, they underscore the broader challenge of ensuring that Social Security and other support systems keep pace with inflation and the cost of living. For seniors who have spent decades contributing to the system, these potential increases are a long awaited acknowledgement that their financial struggles are being recognized at the highest levels of government. Even temporary increases can bring relief, hope, and a renewed sense of security, allowing older Americans to live with greater dignity, stability, and confidence that the country is actively considering their needs in policy decisions that affect them directly.